FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, listeners out there. You're welcome to yet another interesting edition of Power 365 Newspaper Review, coming to you live from the stables of Power 365 Online Radio here at Felele, Ibadan. My name is Olamide Adeniji, and I'm bringing you news stories or major headlines coming from Nigerian Tribune, from one of the major dailies in the country today, which is Nigerian Tribune. And let me quickly start with this first story, which says Okwama killings, GOC soldiers to remain in the creeks until, and it has ellipses behind it, and it has a rider which says Delta governor cautions traditional rulers against shielding suspects. And also on the Nigerian Tribune, El Rufai's visit to SDP stirs debate as ex-governor hosts NSA. And okay, so this is also saying no respite for poultry farmers as product scarcity, rising cost persists. And how much do you buy a crate of egg now? Here in Ibadan, I think it's between 3,006 and 3,008 per crate. Wow. Okay, this is saying Meta to introduce monetization features for Nigerian creators on Instagram in June. Thank God. And then, okay, we're going to read that one. Okay, that's a good story. That's a good one for creators in Nigeria. And then this is saying Amotekun foils robbery attempt in Ondo, arrests one. 20 states failed to submit report on state police. 36 states FCT owe 1.7 trillion naira in budget support. 1 billion liters of petrol smuggled out to benefit those not paying tax. That's coming from the federal government. And then also from the front page, this is saying Nigeria not owing foreign airlines $700 million. That's coming from Nanta. And then this is saying Federal First Bank Nigeria Holdings appoints 5 new directors as Otedola takes over. And federal government unveils mines marshals to secure mining sites. Let courts decide who is a terrorist sponsor, Gumi. And that's on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. These are some of the stories we have here for you today. And when you see the stories, we're going to bring you the stories in a jiffy. Just stay tuned to Power 365 FM, your number one online radio in the Southwest. Okay, so we'll bring you the stories when we return.
This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power.
All right, you're welcome back. I'm bringing my first story from page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune says, all right, just a minute. Coming from the GOC, the Nigerian Army has vowed to remain in the creeks of the Niger Delta until the killers of 17 of its officers in Okwama Delta State are apprehended and stolen arms recovered. The General Officer Commanding 6th Division, Nigerian Army Land Component Commander, Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam, made the vow while receiving on condolence visit the Managing Director, Niger Delta Development Commission, Chief Samuel Ogbuko, at the division's headquarters in Port Harcourt Barracks on Thursday. He stated that no amount of propaganda and twisting, blackmail, intimidation, and false narratives would distract troops from achieving the set objectives. He said innocent residents have no reason to entertain any fear, as the operations would be conducted in the most professional manner in line with the best global practice of adherence to rules of engagement and respect for the fundamental human rights of the citizenry. Okwama killings don't shield suspects, Governor tells cautions traditional rulers. Traditional rulers in Delta State have been warned against shielding from justice suspects involved in the killing of 17 soldiers in Okwama community in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State. And this is also saying we want to lead Africa in digital technology. Tinubu tells Meta, receives ex-UK Deputy Prime Minister. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday said his administration is sustaining investments in digital technology to enhance the sustainability of small businesses, expand opportunities across sectors, and propel Nigeria to become the leader of information and communications technology. He made the declaration when he received a delegation from Meta Platforms Incorporated, led by Sir Nick Clegg, former UK Deputy Prime Minister, and Meta's President of Global Affairs at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. That's coming from page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Don't forget, you're still on Power 365 online radio, your number one online radio here in the Southwest. Page 3 has a full-page advertorial on the flag-off of 32 kilometers road infrastructure component of Ibadan Circular Road, which will be flagged off today by the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo. And then we also, let me bring this to you. With over 8,000 members, Adelami political movement collapses structure for Ayeda to. Okay, I'm not interested in politics. If you're interested in that story, you may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read that. And on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune, Tinubu places temporary ban on foreign trips by ministers and others. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has placed a temporary ban on foreign travels by ministers and heads of ministries, departments, and agencies for an initial period of 3 months, according to a memo from the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President. Femi Gbajabiamila, addressed to the Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, and dated March 12, 2024, the suspension was necessary because of increasing cost. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune, page 5, to read more on that. And then we also have the story, which is on page 7 of the. Okay, before we go to page 7, let's go to page 6, the business and economic page of the Nigerian Tribune. No respite for poultry farmers following product scarcity, rising cost. There seems to be no respite in sight for Nigeria's poultry sector, already plagued by a shortage of grain, inflation, and floating of the naira, which has forced the cost of input and other goods and services to increase sharply. Specifically, there are fears that scarcity of poultry products being experienced in the country may be worsened by the lifting of foreign exchange restrictions on importation of milk and dairy. Okay, pick a copy of that story. It's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria not owing foreign airlines $700 million. Stakeholders. Contrary to reports that the federal government is still indebted to the foreign airlines to the tune of $700 million. Indications have just emerged that the only backlog the government is yet to pay the airlines is about $29 million. Oh, okay, that's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then CBN takes financial literacy campaign to schools in FCT. The Central Bank of Nigeria on Thursday took its financial literacy campaign to secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as part of activities to mark the 2024 Global Money Week. And that's on page 7. Nasima kicks against CBN on banning FX access for importation of milk dairy products. It says the national president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Dele Oye Esquire, has kicked against the lifting of the foreign exchange restrictions the Central Bank of Nigeria placed on the importation of milk and dairy products, warning that it could result in the decline of local production. All right, we're bringing more stories to you. Stay tuned. This is Power 365 Online Radio.
Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM. Don't turn off your radio. You are listening to Power FM. This is 365 Power FM.
This is still Power 365 FM, coming to you live from Felele Ibadan. You may join us on all streaming platforms, on Streamer, on Radio Garden, and other streaming platforms. You could also download our app directly from our website, www.power365fm.com. You know also that we are on Instagram at power365_FM, on Facebook at power365fm, and on Twitter at poweronline365. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for staying with us. We really appreciate you. Now this is coming from the Nigerian Union of Teachers. NUT seeks speedy completion of minimum wage. The Nigerian Union of Teachers has urged the federal government to complete in earnest its ongoing review of the minimum wage payable to civil servants nationwide. The union said what is more important to teachers across the country is to start receiving salary that would enable them to meet their financial obligations and live decent lives, and not monthly palliatives that cannot alleviate their financial burdens. That's coming from the Nigerian Union of Teachers. I guess it's the national body. It's coming from the General Secretary NUT, Mike Ene, who gave the position in an exclusive interview with the Nigerian Tribune. And okay, I'm bringing this next one. I hardly want to dabble into politics news. Insecurity. Ogun Assembly passes resolution seeking restructuring of Amotekun cause. The Ogun State House of Assembly on Thursday passed a resolution calling on the state government to reposition the State Security Network Agency Amotekun Corps for effectiveness in securing lives and properties of residents of the state. The Assembly also urged the state government to appoint a new state commander not below the rank of a major or its equivalents in other security agencies to oversee the activities of the agency following the death of its former commander, and the need to recruit more capable and competent personnel to strengthen the corps operations. Okay, that's coming from page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune. Firm gives 13-year-old competition winner land at Splash Lagelu FM. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's a story on the Islamic page of the Nigerian Tribune, and the making of Bimsola Bankole, that's on the entertainment page. All right, let's quickly move out of the entertainment page and let's go straight to the other pages on the newspaper. Okay, so I'm bringing this next story on insecurity on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune. It says insecurity. Gani Adams decries massacre of 16 military officers. Why are they wavering with the exact number of military officers that were killed? Now this is saying 16 military officers. The other news is saying 17 military officers. We're not sure which is the actual number. Anyway, away from that, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Ìbà Gani Adams, has decried the killing of 16 Nigerian army personnel in Okwama community of Delta State, saying that security situation in the country is becoming unbearable, even as he reiterated his call to restructure the country along the regional line in fulfillment of the dreams of the nation's founding fathers. That's coming from page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune. Poor oral health linked to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, others. Health stakeholders have tasked Nigerians to prioritize oral health, drawing links between poor oral health and various adverse health conditions. Converged for the World Oral Health Day commemoration held at the Oyo State Ministry of Health Secretariat Ibadan on Wednesday. The health stakeholders said those with poor oral health risk conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, respiratory infections, adverse pregnancy outcomes, preterm birth, and low birth weight. Okay, that's coming from page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune. And let's go on and get another story from faraway Niger State. Niger government partners AEDC on Light Up Niger project. Niger State government, in conjunction with the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, has come up with an initiative that will improve the electricity supply to residents in the state. That's on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. Jigawa government empowers 27 with 270 million. brilliant. Igbo traders appeal to Kwara governor on tax issues and extend part-time programs to Bogo Emirate. Uh, that's Those are all those headlines I called on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. Our time is fast spent, and let me quickly run on to. Okay, let me bring a story from our dear governor here in Oyo State. It says, who visited the family of late Olubadan yesterday. He said Olubadan restored stability to chieftaincy system. Makinde. Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde hailed the late Olubadan of Ibadan land, the Oba Dr. Mohud Lekan Balogun, for bringing peace and stability to the Olubadan chieftaincy system within the short period of his reign. That's on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then Navy deploys 7 ships, 2 helicopters for rescue services. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then let me quickly bring this next one. Anambra governor, that's a story I read to you shortly. Anambra governor to flag off 32.2 kilometers Ibadan circular road infrastructure component. And then Ekiti government approves free health services for over 19,000 pensioners. Court to hear Nnamdi Kanu's 1 billion naira suit against federal government and DSS on April 18. And then why I withdrew from Ondo governorship race, Jegede, and 20 states failed to submit reports on state police. That's coming from page 31 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then we'll leverage Makinde Adeleke's performance for victory in Ondo, Southwest PDP. And quickly to the sports corner. Lukman Iwobi talk tough ahead Ghana friendly, and Adekuoroye ranked world's #1 Olympian. Odunayo Adekuoroye is now ranked #1 globally in the women's freestyle 57 kg with 49,000 points, according to the United World Wrestling in its latest rankings. The news agency of Nigeria reports that her performance in wrestling at the ongoing 13th African Games in Ghana earned her the position. Adekuoroye defeated Zainab Hussein of Morocco by a pinfall to win the gold in the 57 kg at the 13th World African Games. Adekuoroye is from Ondo State, I guess. Congratulations to her. So at this juncture, we are calling today. Thank you for staying tuned. Stay tuned for the Yoruba version of newspaper review, which will come to you shortly. Until when next I see you, tomorrow we are bringing an overview of happenings during the week to you. Until then, do have a blessed day. God bless you.